All right. We are live. Virgil, no middle name, Texas.
Marie.
How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing great, Brie. How are you doing? What was that percussion?
Percussion. You hear noise? Oh, maybe it's my heater.
Yeah, are you
Okay, let me turn it off. 1 second.
I don't want you to be cold.
Is that better?
Right? It wasn't a problem. I was just asking what it was.
Oh, I think it was my heater. So
your microphone is picking up a ton. Is what it is. I hear everything.
Okay, but I won't pour any more wine.
I didn't. I wasn't complaining. I was just observing it.
It feels like you were complaining.
No, I was just observing it. See, that's the thing, Brie. I'll observe things, and they're not complaints. They're just observations. And I don't think one should intuit something to be a complaint unless it's stated as such.
I think the world aggressively wants to hear more of your observations, Virgil, Texas.
That's simply the case.
This is our inaugural Good Vibes stream.
We can't use that term.
We can't use Good Vibes?
That's copyrighted.
Yeah. By whom?
By Good Vibes Productions.
Are you serious?
My other production company.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to change the title of this event.
You could change it to Bad Vibes Only.
Well, then we have to talk about terrible stuff. I don't want to talk about terrible stuff, Virgil. I want to talk about...
You don't have to do what the title is.
I don't know. I'm very literal.
If you make a film called... Okay, sorry, running out of ideas here. Like I was thinking Titanic, but that was obviously about the Titanic. So that was not what you would call an ironical title.
I'm pitching a comedy. It's about a big boat. So Virgil, what good vibe observation have you made today that you want to talk about with our late night guests here on the stream?
Was that a promise? Was that an obligation that I had to bring a good vibe?
Yeah, I've been texting you for like a couple of hours to come up with a list of 4 non-political things for us to talk about.
I didn't realize that was my life now.
All right, well, we're taking suggestions. I threw out the Army Hammer business
to come up with items. Also, how can people find this stream, Briahna?
It's on our YouTube page. You're trying to tweet it out. You're trying to let people know that this is happening. I thought we were flying under the radar tonight.
I was going to send it to Paul. He was asking me because
you should send it.
He wanted to chat with me, and I said, "I'd love to chat with you, but I've got to."
Paul can come in.
Stream.
Hey, let's introduce the people to our amazing designer who made all of our graphics and logos look as gorgeous as they are. People are sleeping on the show's search party 100%. I'm only 1 season in because I stopped because I was going to wait and allow my ex-boyfriend to catch up with me, but now I'm no longer tethered to that obligation, so I'm about to plow right through and catch up before this new 4th season launches. It was so good.
How would we let Paul in? How would we invite him in?
I will send him a link, the same link I sent you, but I can send him to
so you would text it to him? Do you have his?
No, I'm going to email him right now.
You go to email him. Okay.
Paul sent.
Okay, I will let him know. To look out for that email because often people don't. Well, the Nets win the East, maybe.
How are they doing tonight? I have a Nets jersey.
You have a Nets jersey.
Mm-hmm.
How did? Let me see it.
You want me to show it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't just say I've got a Nets jersey.
I might take a second to dig out. I don't know if it's in my costume box or like just in a bottom drawer.
Well, you can get it later. You don't have to get it in a second.
I'm just
saying the fact that you've introduced it.
Do you want to guess who's on it?
Who's on it?
Yeah.
I know who's on it. I'm not going to guess. You tell me.
No, I want you to guess.
No, I'm not going to guess. I don't want to guess.
I want you to guess who's on my jersey.
I do not have this. I'm not a Nets fan, by the way. So, the Nets are the Brooklyn Nets, a relatively new organization, formerly the Newark Nets, New Jersey Nets, playing in Newark. So I'm not Mr. Nets.
Well, I used to be Mrs. Nets. I went to a Nets game for some birthday or something a while back, and as part of my gift was my Jeremy Lin jersey.
When did Jeremy Lin play for the Nets?
Sometime, I don't know, 2017.
When was that? Yeah, because he played for after the Knicks, he played for a bunch of teams for 1 year at a time.
Yeah, because they did my man wrong. You know what I'm saying? He had talent, but people treated him like it was just a flash in the pan. He wasn't cultivated. They should have never traded him from the Knicks in the first place.
Honestly, I'm kind of 50-50 on that.
Okay, well,
I was there for Lin Sanity. It rocked. It ruled. It was like the Knicks sucked, and then it was Melo got injured, I think, and then they pulled this guy in. Nobody ever heard of him, and they started winning games.
No one had ever heard of him.
No one had ever heard of him. They just won a string of games. Yeah, before they pulled him up.
No, I had heard of him because when I was a senior in college, he wasn't really even, no one was paying attention to him. There was this other guy on the basketball team named Koyata, who was like the cute Asian guy to watch. But Jeremy Lin was a breakthrough talent, and he was a freshman when I was
Harvard basketball team.
Yep. Occasionally we get one in there. Don't take it away from us.
Well, I mean, what an inspiring thing. New York sources do not do well with the supposed intellectuals.
What other intellectuals have gone through?
You have the example of the Jets quarterback from a couple of years ago. Memory's not great right now. Somebody in the chat, give me the name of the quarterback. What's his face? The guy who supposedly scored like 150 on the intelligence test that they give football players.
Wait, they just are randomly issuing?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah, Fitzmagic.
I'm not familiar with him.
He was briefly the Jets quarterback in one of the last shitty Jets decade of suck.
Brent McKinney has rightly observed that I'm not drinking tequila. I was gifted a Harry David box with 2 bottles of wine in it, so I'm doing my duty by consuming them. But you're right. This is a departure from my usual. So if I am not handling myself with my normal decorum, it's because I'm enjoying a different kind of spirit than I usually do. Sorry. So how was the game tonight? Who was playing whom?
How was what game tonight? The Nets game?
The Nets playing who?
Who did they play? The Timberwolves, I believe.
You're watching the game.
I was half watching. I was doing other stuff. I multitask here
okay.
in the Fortress of Solitude.
Do you like sports? Did you ever play sports in middle school or high school or anything?
Oh God, we're not going there, Bree. Don't even try.
I'm sorry. I thought is that like an intimate question? Did you play sports?
I'm not going there, Bree.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a hop, skip, and a jump right from who did the Nets play tonight? Question that can be answered by directing your browser to nba.com, clicking on scores.
Okay.
The answer to that, I believe they played the Timberwolves and they won by 2 points. It was great. That was a great game. James Harden is he's on the Nets now, and a lot of people have observed that he has gained weight and does not appear.
I thought that he was in pregame shows, shots with warm-up shots or whatever, with looking huskier, and then he showed up at the game without. I thought that I saw some tweet that it was a fat suit.
Yeah, no, that's the joke. That's the joke. Right before he came to Brooklyn, that he was just like a bloated guy who just like in the pandemic just like did not give a shit. And now that he's in Brooklyn, he's this like muscular Adonis. And he fucking dominated. He was just a fucking great guy.
I really wanted this to be in here, but I think that maybe I'm gonna have to do deeper digging. Deeper digging into my costume bag. Got a lot of good stuff here. But...
Did you advertise that I would be moody? Is that the case?
Sorry?
Did you advertise that I would be moody? Is that the case? Okay.
That you would be what?
That I would be moody. Is that the case?
No, of course not.
Okay, all right.
I didn't advertise anything other than just pulling this up just now.
Anyway, so like that's the joke of it, and I mean, it's like the side-by-side photo does not make any fucking sense in terms of physics. My guess is just black is slimming.
Your guess is
black is slimming. It's a slimming color.
The jersey is cute. I like it. I didn't like how short a timeline I could wear my jersey for it to remain current. The other jersey I own is a Chauncey Billups jersey from the Detroit Pistons. I collect jerseys with each relationship, it seems. That's the trajectory I'm on.
I like that. That's funny. That's the premise of a romantic comedy.
27 jerseys.
Yeah, 27. I was gonna say 5 jerseys, but yeah, no, 27 jerseys. And like each guy you take home, you just show him the closet full of jerseys, and he gets intimidated. And it's like, oh, why can't I meet a guy who can accept all these jerseys? And then I don't know. At the end, you like meet Chris Paul or something.
Well, the thing is, as someone who, like, I guess nowadays I'm saying I'm from New York, and that feels authentic because, my family moved there in 2001. So it's been a while, but until recently, I felt a little bit of like a fraud saying I was from any given state because, I moved around so much, and I was born in DC. I lived in North Carolina for 6 years, but it wasn't home. Neither of my parents is from there. My mom was just there doing her doctoral degree. Then we moved abroad, and I came back when I was 15 to New York. So you know how New Yorkers are. It took me a while before I felt like I could say I'm from New York in a room without getting, a bunch of pizzas and forget about it's coming my way. But as a consequence, when I was in college, I didn't feel comfortable saying, oh, I have a team. Like, I'm going to root for the Knicks or the Mets or whatever because I'm from New York. And so I didn't feel like it was like traitorous for me to adopt the team of my then partner who was from Detroit at the time when the Pistons were kind of rocking and rolling. They had just won the championship when we started dating. And it was fun to watch them and fun to watch them lose to the Heat and have a lot of near misses in the years of our relationship.
That's really the trajectory of the country. That was a big shift when the Pistons started losing and the Heat started winning.
I mean, the Pistons are the consummate underdog. Like, as a leftist, there's a part of me that really relates to a team with like no real stars. I mean, I really don't know what's going on with them now, to be honest, but it's like a real group effort. It's all about solidarity. There's no like breakout enormous star who's scoring all the points. It's all like each of them just has like a 20-point game. It was, I felt very naturally inclined to root for them.
I agree. I mean, I agree with you that teamwork is important in the game of basketball. It is absolutely a central characteristic of the game. I just want to let the chat know that, as good as the Nets look right now and as fun as they are, and I watch the games, I'm not going to bandwagon the Nets. I will continue to be a Knicks fan.
Okay. How's that going? Who's big on the Knicks right now?
I forget. I don't know. Ask me in like 3 weeks. Honestly,
okay, fair enough.
Brain fog. I'm not really remembering most things.
This is not an interview. Somebody asked me what I think is going to happen on Wednesday. What's Wednesday? Oh, inauguration. First of all, is this good vibes enough for us to talk about?
I did not realize that there were qualifications for the things that we discussed. I didn't realize that we had to pass some sort of hurdle, some sort of litmus test, vibe related. Did we change the name of this? Because I brought up the trademark issue, right?
Oh, okay. First of all, you can't trademark a phrase like "good vibes."
Yes, you can.
Like,
Yes, it can. Common misconception. Yes, it can.
no. Okay, you can. I'm not. You can be
If
Good Vibes Incorporated or whatever, but you can't bar the entire planet from ever using the phrase "good vibes."
if MIA can trademark doing the gunshot noise 3 times in a row, then yes, you can trademark the term good vibes.
Okay, first of all, there's a lot about copyright law that is nonsense and malarkey. First of all, can I tell you, copyright was one of the best classes I took in law school. Fun fact, nerd fact, I learned who Girl Talk was from my copyright class. Like a 55-year-old woman was
Girl Talk actually brought up interesting copyright issues.
It did.
I can't disagree.
Because it was, it was free, so it got away with a lot. But she played this song that had a mix of like James Taylor, no one can tell me that I'm doing wrong today. Whenever I see your smiling face, which I loved because my mother loves James Taylor, and some hip hop song, which I can't even remember what it was. And another somewhat embarrassing fact is there are quite a few hip hop songs. So I was not in the country for the 90s, right? It's not my fault. I missed the entire Clinton administration living overseas. So for that reason, my knowledge of anything other than superficial pop music, whether it's black pop music or white pop music, like it's not very good. So there were a lot of like 90s hip hop songs that I only know through Girl Talk. So I'll know every word of like just the verse that they included in a Girl Talk song.
Well, he only included the best part. Well, he only included the best parts.
Yeah. So is that you're smiling, but yeah, these people know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. So what do you listen to in your spare time? Oh, sorry. We should have like a safe word.
What safe word?
What's our safe word, Virgil, if we're getting into a place that you're not entirely comfortable with?
Well, the thing is, if we say the safe word like now publicly, then people are going to know the safe word.
Okay, text it to me.
Okay, but the thing about the safe word is it would have to be a word that would have to be worked into a sentence in some way so that people could not realize, and also the word would have to change each time because people would catch on to it. So I will text you. I will text you. I'm going to text you right now. The safe word right now.
Someone asked if I'd rather be a moose or a large cat, and I think people should know that my mother's nickname for me is Moosey Goosey or like Moose Girl, or sometimes she calls me MG. So obviously it's a moose. I have registered your safe word. It is just popped up.
You got it. You got it. You got it on Signal. Safe word. You decrypted it. Safe word 1, and if things get uncomfortable, you casually work that into a sentence, and the other person, we're all going to be on the lookout for that and hear that, and you're like, oh, okay, let's move on. Let's switch the topic. Okay,
I'm on board. I'm feeling good about this. Someone else says about Feed the Animals, which is the Girl Talk album that I mostly work out to, that they listen to it all the way through. One track ends and another begins. That's why it's so good to work out to Girl Talk, because sometimes it's like, so when I used to run more, I used to say, Briahna, okay, you have to run for 10 songs without looking at how far you've gone. You have to I would cover up the speedometer with a gym towel, and say you can't even look down for 10 songs. Because when you're looking down every 30 seconds, it feels interminable and horrible. And 10 songs, depending on the song, gets you close enough to 5 miles that by the time you look, you can push through to 5 miles.
Are you bicycling or are you running?
Running. But if you get Girl Talk songs mixed in there, they're not only long songs, but they're songs where it can be difficult to distinguish where one song ends and one begins. So you can trick yourself into running longer. And then when you look at the speedometer, you find out that actually you've already run as far as you can run and you can stop. You got to, running is terrible and horrible, and you got to trick yourself into doing it.
It's almost bad for the knees also. I much prefer not moving at all and letting entropy just do the work for you.
You're not going to join me on this jump rope craze I'm on these days?
I've never jumped rope in my life. I haven't the foggiest idea how to do it. It looks incredibly complicated.
No,
Double Dutch, like
good.
that crap, like I cannot imagine doing that for the
I'm not
life
talking
of me.
about double Dutch. I'm talking about you alone in your apartment. You've got
Like,
good ceiling height.
you know,
Much better than me. I can basically touch my ceiling. It's horrible. It's stucco. It's a situation.
it seems like a lot of jumping, to be honest with you.
It's good. It's good. I just bought. I'm trying not to say the brand name of this too many times because it starts to feel like I'm like doing sponsored ads. But it's called Cross Rope, and there's an app that comes with it. So they have these weighted ropes.
God.
So you get an upper body workout.
An app with my rope.
You don't have
ropes have apps now. Ropes have apps now. What would Herman Melville think?
Wait, what does Herman Melville have to do with ropes?
I wrote a whole novel about nautical bullshit.
Oh, those kinds of ropes. This is a little different.
It's a rope. It's the same concept, same deal.
I will make you one of my special friends on Instagram. What do you call it? I do jump roping on Instagram.
Close friends list. Also, I'm surprised that I'm not already on the close friends list.
Sorry, I don't think about it, but I'm going to make it with close friends so you can see my jump roping from today. I would put it on my normal Instagram. You jerks will dox me and figure out what apartment complex I live in if I...
You hearing that? You hearing that, listeners? This is the sort of exclusive content that you cannot get. That is super paywalled.
I'm going to...
Brie jump roping. Honestly, I'll get the jump rope. I'll get it.
It's great.
What's your record? Do you do like reps or do you like?
Well, yeah.
So you just like go as long as you can.
No, well, okay. So the app walks you through like, okay, do like 30 seconds of free jump, and then like do like 20 seconds of lunges,
the robot is
and then the robot is commanding you.
Yeah.
But when you're done, they have these like 20, 30-minute exercises you can do. So it's very short. I do like the 20-minute ones. And then you burn like 300 calories in 20 minutes, allegedly. I don't really believe those things. But then what I end up doing, I love music. The thing I love about a jump rope is when you're running, it's hard to run on beat because you can't adjust. Every song has a different tempo. You can't just keep it with the tempo. It's like, but with jump rope, you have more control over the speed. And when a good song comes on and you like get into it, by the way, the best jump rope songs are late 90s pop music, like Sum 41. Don't ask me why, but the intervals are like perfect jump roping intervals.
I'm familiar with late 90s pop.
And you can just be like, what's my name again? What's my name again?
So because the periods are longer, it's easier to do.
It's just because you're not on a treadmill, like as a fixed, it's at a speed, it's a fixed speed, but the jump rope you're controlling. So you can speed up a little or slow down a little and still get your jump on beat. And so it just basically feels like you're dancing, but it's a little bit more, it exerts you. There's more exertion and you're getting more of a workout, but it feels like you're just like dancing in the courtyard of your apartment building.
Brie, I'll get the thing if we can make it competitive in some fashion.
I'm with you.
That's the only way I can find. If I could say like, I did 29 jumps today. Like, I did 30, and the app, and I'm not lying because there's the app that's monitoring
the app
at all times. This cruel taskmaster, this vile robot that forces us to exercise will monitor us and ensure that we're keeping honest.
Yeah, someone is like, Briahna, were you jumping to If You Want to Be My Lover? And 10 out of 10, some Spice Girls song came on today. I don't know if it was that. But yeah, it like late 90s. Also, that's when, I was in my halcyon days.
Oh yeah, it's all downhill since then.
I mean,
now look where you are. You're doing a live stream with me.
Well, Virgil, we didn't even have the internet when I was in the 9th grade, basically. We had Africa Online. It wasn't great.
We had you had Africa Online.
It wasn't. My brother has always been a big like computer guy. And so he used to sit there at the computer and wait for forever for things to download. And I had no interest in the internet.
Wait, is that a real thing? It's like America Online?
Yeah, Africa Online. That isn't like a joke about it. That's not
a racist come down joke.
No, I'm sincerely talking about the internet service that we had in Kenya. And I did not have the patience for it. So I didn't really get my first Hotmail account until we came back to the States in 2001. I just couldn't be bothered.
Hotmail was done by 2001.
Well, I had one. and I used it to communicate to my friends. And then I guess that's all I had until I remember when I started at college. You would start college. This is for the kids in the audience. You started college and they would give you had to go and pick up your Ethernet cord because there was no Wi-Fi until around senior year. The college was fully Wi-Fi'd. And they gave you an email password. And I didn't really realize how frequently I was supposed to be checking the email. So there was all the stuff I missed out on at the beginning of college, like stuff I was supposed to have gone to. And I just started off on the completely the wrong foot because I had no habit of using email. And then Gmail came out, I think, my sophomore year.
Same time as Facebook.
I think I had a Facebook before I had a Gmail. Because Facebook came out February of 2004, my freshman year.
Yes. Yeah, yours was the first college, famously.
Famously, your college wasn't far behind, Virgil.
No, I also had a Facebook account in 2004.
A little later than when I had one, but
a little later.
Early.
Yeah. The audience loves this shit. They love hearing this crap. Look,
Elizabeth is vibing. She's relating. Mark is saying, y'all are making me feel young. You're welcome, Mark. I guess.
How old are these all old people watching this?
No, Mark is younger than us.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Connor wants you to acknowledge him, Virgil.
We'll see. So the thing we were going to talk about, that was the inauguration, which you wondered, was that too bad vibes? I mean, there are definite bad vibes, but you would be able to tell me about them, tell our audience about them better than I would, seeing as you live by the green zone.
Okay, Virgil, real talk. If I were white, I promise you I would go out and try to do some first person.
No, I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to do shit.
But the thing is, I want to. Like when the coup was happening and we were, live recording with Thomas Frank, which everyone should listen to if they haven't already. It's a free episode. But I really wanted to go. Like, I am so interested in talking to an insurrectionist. Like, I'm so sincerely interested in excavating that psychology, but like I feel like I'm not. Who's that? There's this blonde woman at Vice with like big round hipster glasses that does all of that.
Reeve.
She has like a side braid, and
her name's Reeve. Yeah,
she can go do that stuff, and like Richard Spencer will flirt with her, and like that is a cool niche. But I have some skepticism about my ability to fit in that same way. Although low key, all those stories that were a bunch of these white supremacists secretly have black wives.
Yes. Yeah.
That's still not my crowd, though.
Well, I think they would try to convert you as a thing, unless they realize you're a member of the lying crooked media. They would try to convert you because, of course, they want black people in their movement to, defend against allegations that the movement is a white supremacist, fucking reactionary movement.
Well, the guy on the ground in the Capitol, that the New Yorker videos that came out over the last couple of days, and the hat guy, Q fur guy, comes in with a cop behind him, and there's a guy on the ground, and the cop is like, "Do you need medical assistance?" That white guy on the ground has a "Blacks for Trump" T-shirt on.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw the Black for. Well, that's a great joke. That's just underlining the point right there. A white guy wearing a Blacks for Trump shirt. The fact that it is Blacks for Trump too. Also,
can I tell you? Here's some Bernie insider information.
Ooh, okay.
We were trying to come up with what the Bernie HBCU shirt was going to look like, and when I tell you,
Blacks for Bernie was shot down.
It was because we actually had black people talking about it on the campaign. When I tell you we had so many meetings with like 10 black HQ staffers at a time, just debating for hours about what combination of words wasn't going to get Bernie in trouble. The amount of brain power that went into coming up with Bernie for HBCUs. as opposed to HBCUs for Bernie felt too presumptuous. Like, who are you to say that we're for you? Okay, so we nixed that. And then there was like there was some cohort of us who liked the like You know that like Martin font? It's very popular with like, it's like a font that says like, I'm talking to Black people.
The TV show Martin.
Yeah, it's like the letters are like big and then lowercase, and some have like lines on it. It's like yellow, black, and green, like Pan-African colors.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I personally was very opposed to doing that because I'm like, oh, we're gonna get dragged for this. Please, can we not do like, hi, I'm talking to Black people font?
Yeah.
So
right.
I went out there. So it's just like collegiate. It's tasteful. I think the t-shirts look really nice. We didn't get to use them for very long because by the time we were done deliberating, the campaign was basically over. But I do have my Bernie for HBCU shirt, and it is a collector's item, I guess.
Can I see it?
Can you see it? Yeah, I know exactly where that is because I almost put it on today. Okay.
Oh, I never got one.
You are not going to get one. My parents both went to HBCUs. I'm allowed.
Okay, so she has one. I do not have one of those items. I have very few tchotchkes from the Bernie Sanders campaign. Well, I didn't work on the Bernie Sanders campaign, so surely Briahna, who was the press secretary for Bernie Sanders 2020, should have more items from the campaign than I do.
Excuse me. Oh, you can't see.
Oh, you wear it. Oh, you put it on. Oh, okay. That's way better than doing the De La Soul font.
I felt like it was tasteful. It was good.
That's tasteful. It's a little collegey.
It is. It's HBCUs. It's supposed to be college. That's the whole point. It's for historically Black colleges and universities.
I don't know. I have a friend who gave me a. Well, I should bring it up because then you're gonna make me bring it out here. This is actually one of my favorite things that I got on the campaign trail was in Melbourne, Australia. There was a group of people who supported the Bernie Sanders campaign. They made calls, and some flew to the United States in order to canvass for Bernie Sanders. I met them in Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada, and they gave me a shirt, which is a treasured shirt, not just because it's a great design, but because it's also like comfortable. Like that really matters to me. Like it's like made out of comfortable material. It feels like a shirt. They gave me a wonderful shirt that says it says like the Bernie 2020 shirt. It says Mel Bernie.
Oh, that's cute.
Right.
That's cute.
That's a great, and it's very comfortable.
People are asking intimate questions of you, but I'm just pointing them to you in case you want to answer them. But I'm not going to make that demand of you.
I don't know why people
So I think I've confessed this to you before, Virgil, and I'm a little embarrassed by it, but I'm going to keep saying it because I hope someone just actually makes me this shirt. You can't spell Bernie without Brie. So.
Oh yeah, I suppose you can.
Swap these around. Wait, no, just ignore it like
well,
this.
You could. Yeah, you could. This is why we need Paul, because he could whip this up in a flash.
Right. So I secretly want a Bernie shirt with like the little Colgate swoop underneath it, but that says Brie.
That just emphasizes the Brie. Honestly, I mean, the fact that it's the same letters means you probably just do the same design.
Yeah.
But with just your name.
Yeah, just Brie. I just want it Brie with a little swoopy swoop underneath.
You could also do if your name was Ernie.
I really like the name.
If there were any Ernies out there, or Bens, there's some Bens out there. So same deal. Obviously, Virgil doesn't really work same way. We only, about 1/3 of the letters are the same there. But if you're Ben, Ernie, or Bree, reach out to Paul and let's make this happen. You could do a group order.
That's the thing. You got to do the group order. It's so expensive. Speaking of which, we got to get our merch store together.
Yeah, we do. I don't. I always feel weird about selling merch because I don't know. It's like.
I know, but
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like 90s like alt rock thing.
I
don't want to sell out. I don't sell merch.
Okay. Well, I personally just like merch. Like I want to buy merch. I love enamel pins. I will embrace that aspect of my basicity, my basic instincts. And I think about it this way. I know you feel some kind of way about the whole capitalism of it all, but if we were to start making enough money from with merch from people who have disposable income, it means we can lower the monthly Patreon obligations of people who just want to watch the show, listen to the show, and get information and stuff can have lower tiers. You can think about it. The people who can pay can subsidize us through merch, and then we can lower the Patreon. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
It's complex. It's a complex economic question.
Is that really our bookkeeper? Do we have a bookkeeper? Is his name Charles?
Yes, we do have our bookkeeper. His name is Charles.
Oh, it's our bookkeeper.
Oh,
And he says,
hey, Charles. How are you doing? prepare to be doxxed, bitch.
he said, I'm your bookkeeper and you should do merch.
Yeah, we should do merch. Well, I mean, we have great designs, great designer, and I mean, there's some merch that I really want to do.
People want mugs.
Shirts. It's very cold these days, so a sweater or a hoodie would be good. Pins and stickers, absolutely.
I love enamel pins.
Yeah, I would like an enamel pin. The thing is, I feel like we shouldn't sell enamel pins.
Why?
Well, they should be kind of like challenge coins. Like we give them out to the worthiest listeners. Like we have a pin, wording on my door. One sec. Oh, there's a lot of shit in here, Brie. One sec.
While you're looking, I did a federal clerkship in the Eastern District of New York, and enamel pins, you have to buy a lot of them. They're not that expensive, but you have to buy like 200 of them, and that gets expensive. What's that? What is that?
I was thinking like one of these guys.
You always want to rub that in my face, Virgil.
It says in package, still in its original packaging, a Bernie Sanders lapel pen.
You're such a jerk.
Bernie Sanders in its original packaging, never worn.
You're such a jerk. So the story behind those pins is that Ari Robinhoft, he had a couple of titles. He ended up being a deputy campaign manager, but he started out being it doesn't matter. Anyway, deputy campaign manager, got those specialty made and only gave them out to certain people, mostly members of the close protection team, and very few other people got them. And once I asked him just if I could see one when he was in the office, like hold it. He literally wouldn't even let me hold it because he was being so protective of them. Come to find out, Virgil, Texas has one, and I couldn't get one.
You should have harassed more people, Brie. Should have harassed more people on the internet. Should have harassed more K-hivers. Should have harassed more Mayor Pete supporters. They were begging for it. I went the extra mile. I almost got banned for harassing Mayor Pete supporters, and that's how I got the freaking Medal of Honor pinned on me. That's what I'm saying. I think we should have. We should make merch. We should make shirts. Let's definitely do that. 100%. 100% with you. Oh, tote bags too. I feel like our audience is into tote bags. I don't know. Because plastic bags are on their way out, and everyone has a reusable bag fad.
You can take a tote bag with you every day. You can have the tote bag. The shirt you have to clean periodically, but it's a way to say, hey, I'm an NPR person. I'm a Strand person. I read books and have a big brain. Also, I listen to this great leftist podcast. I'm a real one.
Hey, you piece of shit. I listen to Bad Faith. Go to hell. That's what our tote bags say. But the jewel pin, that should be something that just you, me, and Ben own.
Okay.
And then we have a handful that we each give out. It's a discretion.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that they're gonna force you to buy 200 of them.
Yeah, we'll buy 200 of them.
Okay. You end up having more. So my judge gave us pins as to mark as clerks, right? And I was clerk number 15. He was a relatively new judge. So he had to buy so many of these pins, in his whole life, he's never going to go through 200 pins. But every time I would show up to the clerkship reunions, I would typically forget to bring my pen to work with me that day. And so when I went over to, the reunion, I wouldn't have it with me. I wouldn't have time to go home first. And he would just give me a new one because he's like, screw it. I have a whole bucket of them in my office and I'm never going to run out. So just be warned, you are going to have a ton of them,
Well,
and they're
Reebok
going to end
will
up
have a ton of
costing
them.
like, it's going to be like $200 a pin, like, because they're not
It's not
expensive.
going to be $200 a pin.
It ends up being like $1,000. I mean, it's not a lot. It's like $5 a pin, but for 200 pins, that's a lot of money.
That's a small investment.
So if you're selling them all, it's not a lot. But if you just really want a handful of pins, it's like prohibitively expensive. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, we don't have to.
I think in the long run of the show,
because I looked into it for my for Spody podcast.
Oh, here it comes.
I'm gonna go put my Spody sweatshirt on in a second if you keep giving me lip.
Here we go. No, just put it on. I don't care.
I love my.
I'm not threatened.
You're not possessive.
I'm not threatened by it at all. No, put it on. All right, there you go. She's going to put it on. There you are. I mean, my proposition is pretty simple. We should make the pins, a small batch of the pins that me, Bree, and our producer Ben should all have a handful of them, and we should give them out as a reward. Here it is. Here's this one. There she brings out this one. Yeah.
So my little brother, I hope he's okay that I'm saying this. He sent me is it okay that I don't have my earphones plugged in right now? Is the sound and everything okay?
It sounds really good. I don't want my earphones plugged in, but I feel like this sound's going to be shitty if I got them.
Okay. Well, someone earlier said that your sound is actually not going through your microphone. It's going through your earplug. So maybe if you adjust that, that'll make a difference.
Wait, hang on a tick. What?
Someone said it sounded like your sound is coming through your earphone mic, not your mic. So you have to just adjust that in preferences.
Well, but I'm wearing my earphones, so it should be coming through the earphones.
Right, but don't you want it to go through? You don't. So my mic.
My microphone is not. My microphone is a prop. This is not plugged into anything.
Oh, mine is plugged into my computer. That's why my sound is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway.
Also, don't listen to them.
My little brother
they don't know what they're talking about.
Okay. Well, my little brother was on Grindr, and apparently someone was like, "Is your sister Briahna?" And he was like, "Yes." And he was like, "I used to listen to Swody." Like, the world is this small. And then my brother had to block him. Also, he has a boyfriend. I didn't ask further questions about why he was still on Grindr, but it's fine. We're not going to leave this up on the internet, so it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. Well, I mean, why else would you be on Grindr?
Well, my old co-host, he doesn't believe me when I say he was, an icon in the gay community, but he was a hot piece and an icon. And Virgil, I expect the same of us.
I expect the same of us as well. Bree, how is it there in Washington, D.C. right now?
Well, I got back here on January 2nd, and I haven't left my apartment complex since then. So the view out my window is pretty normal.
Not even to stop the steal. Would not even go out to stop the steal.
Not even to stop the steal. What's Joe? Joe is my former co-host of my first podcast.
It's her ex-co-host. What is the view from your apartment in DC? Can you see the barbed wire from your apartment?
No, everything looks completely normal. And I will not be saying anything else because I, again, am not trying to get doxxed or targeted in the insurrection.
I mean, it's a big city.
Yeah. I don't see any. There's been a
city of 800,000 people.
Are there that many?
Within the confines of the District of Columbia, yes.
I thought it was smaller than that. I've seen
it might be. I might have made that up, but I'm shooting from the hip right now.
Boston's only 600,000. Like, a lot of these cities are way smaller than you think they're going to be.
Well, I mean, the metropolitan area is massive. But...
Miles says 700,000.
Okay, that's fine.
He accepts that.
No, I accept that. I mean, I kind of think it is closer to 700,000, but if it's like 715, you round up, it's 800. So there you go. So I'm feeling great about the neighborhood that I'm in. Anyway, okay, don't dox yourself. Don't do any kind of first person reporting or anything like that. I'm just curious what it takes to get into the Joe Biden inauguration at this point, because as you remember, the Trump inauguration, the Obama inauguration, these were national security events, right? There was security there. They weren't like letting people in with like, oh, I'm just gonna drive a fucking Ryder truck up to the through the National Mall. Like, no, like there's magnetometers and all kinds of crap like that. They had security, but this is a new level of security. Well, this is like wartime security.
Well, remember when Obama was inaugurated, everyone was, a lot of people were really scared because they thought, oh, there's all these death threats, first Black president. He was walking down the street by the car and everyone was panicky. I actually went to the Michigan ball of Obama's inauguration.
You mean the Michigan State?
The Michigan State ball. It was not one of the big ones. Obama was not there.
Right, because everyone has like different balls like that. Yeah.
But my Pistons partner at the time was from Michigan, and his dad was like a big businessman in Michigan and had got us tickets. It was very underwhelming.
Who was there?
Sorry?
Who was at the Michigan ball?
No one I knew. I just remember being very cold and feeling underwhelmed because, it was a minor ball. In fact, his dad went to one of the better balls and left us at this like third-rate Michigan ball at the American History Museum, I think it was. But yeah, it's confusing to me why they're having anything at all because of COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, that's the big thing. And I was wondering about this, like, that's the whole thing about being Democrats, right? Like, we're making a big show of staying home and all that crap, especially now that there's a freaking super COVID, the UK COVID spreading around. And you still have to have the inauguration. You still have to have the thing where, you can, every Democrat member of Congress gets like 5 tickets to give out to their moron uncles or their big donors or whatever, so they can, watch Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get sworn in and then rock out to the New Radicals or Toby Keith or whatever the hell. Lady Gaga, whatever, who the fuck is performing there. Like, it's gonna be. Should we have our
own inauguration?
I was honestly thinking that. Because so for the past few days, they've been doing these like Twitch inaugural performances.
Mm.
I've only hardly seen it. It looks awful, like dog shit, awful shit. Like not Twitch, like Zoom, like that kind of crap. Like the way they did the convention, right? And I was thinking, oh my god, we should have counter-programmed this.
Well, Eve Six.
We should have put on our own. Yeah, Eve Six, like put Eve Six in there, put Sunflower Bean in there. Like,
it says they'll come on the podcast. So, like, there's so many leftist artists who are kind of.
There's a lot of musicians that I want to have on the show, and we just haven't had them on the show.
We can scramble and put together a little mini inauguration concert to like buoy the left.
No, absolutely not. No.
Why do you say that?
It's just like this kind of thing you planned like 4 weeks ago.
People want to know how we met.
We met at. This is fun, actually. We met at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's victory party in the Bronx.
The first one, the good one, the surprise one.
Yeah, I mean the real one. Yeah, not like the other ones, which were like pro forma kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's how we met. There you go. But there are a lot of great musicians. I mean, I want to have more music on the show, more musicians on the show. The only problem is, you run into the musicians union and they got this whole thing, and you got to pay them and all this crap.
Well, we don't have to have people performing. I think a lot of musicians, like this was a Cardi B issue on the campaign. Cardi B wanted to talk, not just perform. She had things to say, and everyone kept proposing gigs for her that involved her performing, which required a lot of money and lighting and staging and all this crap. And I was like, I want to hear what Cardi B has to say too. Just let her talk. But, I wasn't in charge of anything. So there are a lot of musicians who really just would like to be valued for what they have in their brains. So we can just have people on. We could just do it.
Musicians who would be great, for one, great panelists. It'd be great to like just sit on a panel. Though I would say but I mean, I'm saying like I both. Like I would also like musicians to perform. But the thing is, like what a musician performs on like David Letterman or something like that, right?
David who?
Like David Letterman. Oh God. Oh, he's retired. Right. Oh God. I'm showing my age. Yeah, he's retired.
I thought he was in his gray beard. He has that show on Netflix where he interviews like people like Kim Kardashian, and it's very.
Well, I meant the late night show that he
okay.
hosted, the late night with David Letterman, which is now hosted by Stephen Colbert. When they go on a late night show like that, it's covered under ASCAP, I think. I think it's ASCAP, the musicians union, and they get a certain minimum to perform, and I don't know, they might get residuals or something like that.
There were a lot of people saying we should have No Name on. I agree. I have DM'd her asking her, but it would be helpful if you all added her incessantly saying, No Name, go on Bad Faith Pod. That's how things happen. So
I would like to have the Strokes on.
That would be extremely dope.
You remember the Stroke show in New Hampshire?
I was not personally.
You were not personally there. You were not permitted to go, right? Because you didn't have the pin.
Yeah, because I didn't have the pin. I watched it with our.
Was the biggest New Hampshire primary rally in history.
Sounds like it was cool, but I typically did not attend the campaign events. A bunch of us watched it at my colleague Briahna Blewett's apartment here in DC, though. She now does press for Ayanna Pressley, so she was able to avoid the pull of the Biden campaign. All of the germs are dead or boring. I don't know what that means, I'm afraid.
For the band, the Germs, I don't know. Maybe they're all dead. I don't really remember.
Oh, yeah, Ariana Grande. Can I tell you, we were in Atlanta at the end of the HBCU tour for which we had those shirts made. And there were extra tickets. Bernie was going to do that surprise appearance at an Ariana Grande concert. And we found out it was after this like Killer Mike fundraising event in Atlanta. They were like whispering that there were all these extra tickets because none of the like older people in the campaign wanted to go. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But like Philip Agnew and some other cool people were going to go to some other place. And we ended up decided to forgo going to the Ariana Grande concert to go to this like smoking bar. And it's one of the biggest regrets of my life.
Like a hookah bar, or you mean a bar where they're
like a cigar bar.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up just getting into a fight with like some like, 47-year-old neo-lib. And I'm like,
Why didn't you go? Oh my God.
I don't know. First of all, it didn't seem like we were at the end of something. I felt like there were going to be more opportunities for stuff like that. And like Phil was cool and there was like a vibe and like we were all feeling like vibey. And it wasn't clear what the Ariana Grande concert situation was going to be. It just came out of nowhere. But yeah, I truly wish I had gone to see Bernie Sanders pop out at an Ariana Grande concert instead.
90% of life is just showing up, Brady.
Yeah, well, we ended up at a Waffle House at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's fun too. In some states, you can still smoke there.
It was something.
Don't know if you can still smoke there in Georgia. I don't know. I would hope so.
No one was smoking, but it was colorful.
I just have to comment on the optics. And I know you're someone who was concerned with the optics of the new Democrat president being inaugurated in this state of militarization of Washington, D.C. Whatever you want to say, the reason for that is, and we all know what the reason is, but the way it looks is not healthy. Right? Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I mean, that is a distinctly bad vibe that you're bringing.
I'm sorry. All right. I just had to get that one out of my system. We move on. But I mean, that's just been on my mind. I mean, it's just seeing the photographs. I mean, it's very like future war, fucking bullshit. It's like, that's like, that's the kind of thing like, the police, they can mobilize for this kind of crap, but they could not actually stop a bunch of yokels from fucking storming the fucking Capitol building. Like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
Yeah, the power move to me is just saying, okay, because of COVID, we're doing something intimate and different. Just like embrace that this is a weird time and use it as an opportunity to do something that's like more interesting potentially than what otherwise might have happened. Now, I think that there's a world where it's really awkward if you just try to like recreate the first dance, but there's no crowd and there's no energy. And like, But, you know, what if there's something even more intimate and more interesting than that you can put on? Because you don't have to have a crowd. You know, what if it's, you know, all kinds of one-on-one conversations and, you know, I don't know. I'm not, what am I? I
If I
don't
were
work.
inaugurated president, I would not have one-on-one conversations.
No, but like a part of me is like, do I need to hear another speech or would I rather just kind of like voyeuristically listen in at the dinner conversation with the Bidens or whatever?
You
Also,
mean to
or all the
inaugurate someone over the course of a conversation?
or the people who are like more
I think it's
interested
a funny
and
idea. I like that idea. That's like we have a you get together with Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Jill Biden, the second man, what was his name, Doug Emhoff, and the Sonia Sotomayor and John Roberts, right? You have the inner circle people, right? And they just have a party, they're just hanging out,
yeah.
and they know that at some point during this event, Joe Biden has to be inaugurated as president. He has to put his hand on the Bible, and he has to say the words. And then Kamala Harris has to be inaugurated as vice president. Same deal. But they don't decide when, and it's just very natural.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. It's kind of a mystery theater aspect of it. Like, keep watching so you don't miss the actual event. Who knows when the inauguration's going to actually happen? Yeah, I mean, remember how Obama used to have all of those like artists in residence at the White House, and he had like Chance the Rapper come and play, and like that cute black girl with the giant afro who plays the cello, like all these like.
I don't think they were actually in residence.
Well, whatever. Like
that would be cool if there were. If he was like, if he just had artists live in the White House, that would actually be dope.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying, Rachel? They had all of these like
they had cool artists come. Yeah.
Right. And you can have that kind of intimacy at a inauguration if you wanted to in this context. Like just have these small intimate concerts of like really dope people. Cause like Bernie was doing toward the end there, all of these virtual concerts, and they were cool, but they could even have a small audience. Cause with the resources they have, they can, rapid test people and get 30 people in the room, at least on like the Bernie ones that had 0 people in the room. And I would watch that as someone who like obviously does not have positive feelings. I do not have good vibes for Joe Biden. I would still be interested in watching some of the artists that I still like perform in a context like that.
You would like artists who are not from the mid 2000s or earlier perform.
Hey, I'm not gonna be mad at the Carole King appearance.
No one's gonna be mad at that.
I took my mom to the Carole King musical like 2 or 3 years ago. 3, 4 years ago. Time is like flying. And it was a beautiful event. Beautiful. It's the name of the musical. It's great. Carole King is a national treasure. It is what it is.
Brie, I have to step out for 1 minute. Do you think you can hold down the stream?
It's like you can almost tell I was about to ask you if your parents listened to Carole King growing up. Yeah, I can hold down the stream. This is question time. Help me monologue by asking me questions that I can actually respond to. I'm staying out of music conversations. Yes, Carole King. Yes, Carole King. Also, when you actually watch the musical and learn about her like history and songwriting in the 60s and how she actually broke a legitimate glass ceiling, and I don't know. I think she's let me get rid of him. I can get rid of him. Wait a minute. Nope. There it is. Yeah, I just have a lot of admiration for her, and I think her politics are pretty good too, as far as these kinds of things go. Thoughts on Discovery. I didn't even finish the first season, not because I did not want to, but I just fell off. But I know I need to get back on board. I was just watching. I've been catching up on Difficult People with Billy Eichner and what's her face, and I think they're just like the funniest people in the world. And I just watched an episode where she ends up working for some company where everyone is redheaded, and the redheaded, long curly haired woman from Discovery is part of that episode. And I was reminded today that I need to. I have no idea. Do I listen to Red Scare? I do listen to both Red Scare and What's Left from time to time. I find both of the women on both of those shows to have extremely soothing voices, and it's a very pleasant listening experience, whether or not I agree with everything that they have to say. But I listen to a lot of stuff that challenges my own beliefs, because I think that that's how you vet how you feel about things. And if you are secure in your understanding of the world and not like more invested in being right than, you know, understanding, then you should listen to a lot of things that don't necessarily gel with your personal politics. And I value the insights that all of those people have. Is Justin Jackson single? I have no idea. You guys need to stop, though. Truly, he's a decade. He's a young man. Do I listen to Marianne's podcast? Oh, she did such a good, rigorous interview with Pramila Jayapal. Strong recommend. My first concert was James Taylor MSG, his birthday, and she came out and sang a few. James Taylor and Carole King. Guys, I know I got a lot of flack for not being black enough. We can talk about black music in a second, but legit, James Taylor is like everything to me and my family. We lived in North Carolina. I think my mom picked up a CD out of novelty, but like, in my mind, I've gone to Carolina, like Mexico. I have a guitar book, a James Taylor guitar book around here somewhere. I think it's in the corner there, but like, Fire and Rain. I adore James Taylor. And Carly Simon. I agree with this comment. The Mandalorian, that's a question that's going to have to wait for Virgil. Yeah, can I tell you, Nicholas? Well, I don't want to start problems, but sometimes people ask me, they have asked me, including on live streams, do you think that you're authentically black? And I wish I had been quick enough on my feet to ask, what does that mean to you? Because I think that's a pretty gross question. Honestly, like, what about me makes you feel comfortable asking that? And what kind of superficial, ridiculous version of blackness do you subscribe to that you think that is at all something that you would question about? I'm with you, Jan. What am I reading? Well, right now I'm reading Carrie.
Jesus Christ.
Because we might be having the author on soon, and I am catching up. I'm going to put him back on mute until he figures out his stuff. Have you watched Lower Decks? No, I haven't, but I want to. What channel is that on again? How do I access it? Head Crusher, you need to stop. I mean, I know that there's some stories, but Dairy Girls, extremely good.
That's a great show. You can bring me back on, Brie. I'm ready to.
You're on. I put you back.
I'm ready to return. Well, it's not like before when I could see us side by side and.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I can see you, but
you can see the video. Yeah, there you go. Dairy Girls is a fantastic show. Very good show. I think we should have some of the people from Dairy
Virgil,
Girls.
do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite film director?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I want to show you the shirt. While I was up, I got the shirt. It's one of the things I was capable of finding. And here you are. This is from the brilliant people in Melbourne. This is, I have to pull this from the laundry basket, so it's a bit dirty. But, there you are.
Oh, that's cute.
See it, Mel? I don't know what this N is at the end, actually.
Melbourne. So maybe someone from Melbourne is a Melbourneian.
I actually have no idea why. Right, Okay, I see. It would have made more sense without the N, but hey, that's I'm not trying to backseat drive this one. I think it's a great design. It's a very comfortable shirt. It's very comfortable.
It's cute, Virgil. I've never seen you in a t-shirt. I've never seen you in anything other than
you have seen me. You have seen me in a t-shirt.
Yes, a t-shirt and a blazer, but I've never seen you.
Episode 3. But of what?
Oh my gosh! Somebody
wearing a t-shirt.
Somebody has already apparently. Oh, so I wanted to shout out Hoo Hoo, because Hoo Hoo is one of the most reliable. Like if I'm online, Hoo Hoo's online, and I'm online a lot. And I just want to shout this man out because he supports so many leftist or person. I actually don't know anything about you, Hoo Hoo. I'm sorry, I don't mean to presume, but Hoo Hoo is in every like Reddit chat, like live stream. I see them over at the Katie Halper show. I see them on Twitter. Like, I just really appreciate that. It makes me feel like not so alone.
Hulu's great.
Eddie.
All of the Buffy the Vampire Slayers are on Hulu. It's great channel. I also want to show you this, Brie.
Okay.
I want to show you this. This is another jewel pin that I own.
What is that?
Hang on, I've got to let it focus.
Closer.
No.
Put your hand up behind it like the Instagram stars. You got to hold it up like this so people can see.
I think you can see it right here. No, it's the light.
I voted.
It's simply reflecting the light. This is an I voted sticker. You might see this as a ubiquitous in New York on election days. The I voted sticker with you see the schematic of the New York subway system, like the MTA map there. Yep. This is a jewel pin. This is an actual lapel pin of the I voted. You can't really see it with the light. I'm very sorry, but it says the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens on here is a jewel pin of the I voted sticker. If you wear this when you go into a polling place, you can cast as many votes as you want. They don't. You need to show ID. You have to tell them where you live. You flash the pin. They go, "Oh, you're a voter."
Can you not?
That's just something you get when you're a guy like me.
Okay, we just did the QAnon podcast today. Can we not feed the beast? Virgil, for good vibes, what borough, speaking of boroughs, where should I move in New York when I come back?
You should move to Brooklyn, baby.
I should move where?
Brooklyn, baby, 100%. Brooklyn.
I mean, it's both really freeing to know, I work from home, and even after quarantine, I still work from home, and I don't have to worry about a commute, so I could live anywhere. That's cool.
You live in a shack in Montana.
But it's also scary a little bit. Like, am I really going to move to like Windsor Terrace? Because it doesn't matter if it takes an hour and 20 minutes to commute back to Manhattan. I mean, eventually things are going to come back and all my friends are going to be like in Harlem and Manhattan and at least like downtown Brooklyn area. And do I really want to deal with all of that?
Well, we'll unpackage this a little bit. First off, the fact of the matter is, if you're going to host a podcast, you have to live in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, those are the rules.
First of all, that's not true.
Simply how it goes.
I used to live in the West Village. And before I left New York, right before I joined the campaign, Katie Halper helped me throw a New Year's party where she invited every leftist in New York, and they all came to my West Village apartment. No problems.
I did not go.
In retrospect, people I did not know, like Sean McElway was there.
Ooh.
Adam Gaffney was there, but I didn't know who he was until he left his apartment his wallet at my apartment. And
is this an argument for living in Manhattan?
I'm just saying that everybody came, even though I didn't live in Brooklyn.
That's not what I would call everybody.
Hoot hoot is a she. I'm so sorry, hoot hoot. I knew it. I knew in the back of my head that I knew your pronouns, and I just completely forgot. I sincerely apologize. Hoot hoot. Queen hoot hoot.
Bria, have you considered renting a room in the Standard Hotel and living there?
Have you considered turning over your profits from bad faith to me so I could afford such an endeavor?
That's not something that can happen based on the way that the company. I refer you to our accountant. Charles is in there. He can explain exactly why that is not the case. I would say that, yes, you do have to live in Brooklyn. It is also kind of telling on yourself that, all my friends live in Manhattan or lower downtown Brooklyn.
No, I said Harlem, actually. Most people live in Harlem these days.
That's Manhattan.
Yeah, it is.
It's Manhattan and downtown Brooklyn. Most of my friends, they live in North Brooklyn.
Are you going to answer this question about Andrew Yang?
What was the question?
It's on the screen.
Speaking of NY, are you guys excited for Andrew Yang's run? To be honest, no, not really.
You said no? Why not?
Yeah, no, I'm not. For a lot of reasons. For one, I mean, the background for the story is that being the mayor of New York sucks. It's a shitty job where you can't do anything, where you are tightly constrained by not just the city council, but the state government. For instance, if you were the mayor of New York, you can't fix the trains because of the absolutely moronic way the MTA is
hence the
structured.
Cuomo de Blasio drama.
Right, exactly. If you're the mayor of New York, you can't raise taxes on the rich. You can't like tax Wall Street and then pay for big public housing developments, like do the things that a mayor should do. I mean, you kind of can, but it's it's a shitload of work. In practice, if you're the mayor of New York, what your job is to, whenever the NYPD beats the shit out of an unarmed black man or kettles some protesters or shoots to death an unarmed person, to say like, oh gosh, that was really bad. I don't feel great about that one. Like, that's the job of the mayor of New York City in practice. And I can't imagine why Andrew Yang would want that job.
Well, because he wants to be president someday.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he's obviously an ambitious guy, but he has all this goodwill from being this genial guy who showed up at the debates and he was kind of awkward, but in an endearing fashion, nice guy. And he had this proposal that honestly he should be taking a lap about. His proposal seemed a little out of left field when he was running for office. But now everyone is saying like, yeah, we need a UBI. We need to just give money to people. That's how the economy should work.
So what do you think? What do you think he should do then? Because obviously he ran for president, and the media completely stonewalled him. He did very well despite all of that, but I don't expect it to be any different on his next run.
So I don't think I don't think it's great if you like the concept of a UBI, which I have a lot of qualms with. Andrew Yang's concept of a UBI with his particular proposal, which when we interviewed him, I interviewed him with Chapo, and I brought these up, and he would kind of parry these questions, but like these were the serious questions, whether or not it's actual redistributive proposal, and in his mind, it's not. Whatever. If you like the idea of a UBI, if you like Andrew Yang, and if you like New York City, none of this makes sense because Andrew Yang can't do a UBI. He's mayor of New York. If you like him, he's going to get destroyed by the New York media.
Right, but here's the thing. They're already trying, right? There was a news story last week that, oh my God, he's anti-circumcision and that's anti-Semitic. Like,
well, that's a different thing.
Right, they're trying all this stuff. But the thing is about Andrew Yang is that he's remarkably good at letting things roll off of him because there's nothing that's really substantive. I mean, the left has substantive critiques of him and UBI and whether it's a replacement for social programs, like legitimately. But in terms of the mainstream, they don't have any substantive critiques of him. And he is at his core extremely likable.
He's a likable, genial, weird guy.
But if the question is, okay, what is he supposed to do in the interim? Okay, being mayor of New York is going to present some challenges. What the hell else is he supposed to do? Is just sit around?
You know what he could do, honestly?
What?
If Andrew Yang wanted, he could just run for a congressional seat in the Hudson Valley, in like Westchester, Hudson Valley, where he lives. And, if there's a seat open, he can get that seat, and he would win that seat if it's like an open seat race.
No,
and he wouldn't have to worry about the media because media doesn't really give a shit about there's not enough media to care about the 435 congressional races that happen every year or every 2 years. That's the best case for him, and then he could go to Congress, and then he could file a bill for a UBI, and then it doesn't pass, and just say, well, I just want a UBI. Well, I'm just pro UBI, and I'm just going to be the guy who keeps fighting for that thing.
I hear you.
And it doesn't work. If you're mayor of New York, people are going to be like, well, okay, you're the mayor now. Fucking, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It doesn't matter. He has plausible deniability because everyone knows the mayor of New York can't implement anything anyway.
Not everybody knows that.
No, but it doesn't matter.
Look how fucking bad Blasio's approval rating is.
Virgil, first of all, almost nobody votes for mayor of New York. Okay.
Well, so I want to remind you, I do vote for mayor of New York.
But it's a city of like 8 million people, and something like not even 500,000 people decided who was going to be mayor. So it's the kind of thing where we have a little bit of notoriety, like AOC did. It takes only it's a very small number of votes to actually win the race for mayor. So I think that he's smart and strategic about that. Second of all, mayor of New York is a much flashier. Who currently is the congressperson for Hudson, New York? Who's a representative for Hudson, New York? No one knows. Who cares? I don't know. Who cares? Everyone knows who the mayor of New York City is. And so I think that he's right that that's a better platform, unless he believes he's just going to have that AOC magic, which he already is famous. But I think that he's right that New York City is a much better platform for him for any kind of national.
Everyone hates the mayor of New York City. It's a fucking dead end.
Well,
the last three mayors of New York ran for president and ate shit.
First of all, I don't hate the mayor of New York. I think that, frankly, de Blasio was probably my second or third favorite person on the debate stage in the presidential context. I'm sorry. He gave us universal pre-K. I think it's popular. It's like faddish to say I hate de Blasio. And I'm not saying he's a perfect person, but I think that New Yorkers just like to hate on stuff. And it's a little bit overblown. I will just say that. I would also like to answer this question about the red lipstick, which is to say I'm not wearing red lipstick. So relax. I'm breaking out of my shell. Second of all.
Yeah, relax.
I
still want to talk about the Yang thing. I still want to talk about the Yang stuff. What is this?
It's a Yang thing.
Yang is a macroeconomic literate. He's pushing an unstable UBI, a Wall Street wet dream, and that will subsidize low wages. I mean, the core left critique of Andrew Yang's UBI, and I do think a UBI. I do think that can be part of a package of left demands. I really do. But the way that he articulates it, the way he explains it, is a bit like, well, everyone just like gets to have a good time. Billionaires get to be billionaires. Tech, like bosses get to exploit workers, but everyone just gets a new floor.
Well, look, I think that the thing I will say about Yang, and I don't know him intimately. I don't know anything about him that anybody else doesn't know. We did the interview together, Virgil, and you asked really good questions. And I think that people should go back and listen to our Andrew Yang interview. I went on his show a few weeks ago and we had a really good conversation. But the thing I like about Andrew Yang is that he does seem to be really willing to evolve. And there's a little bit of naivete to that, right? Like, why are you putting yourself in these positions where you're commanding political authority and you haven't already thought X, Y, and Z through? But the flip side of that is, well, I'm happy you're willing to think it through now and not be just entrenched in the idea that you have to stick by whatever your first notion was, and that you're willing to evolve in these issues. And so I think that he's
evolving on cutting Social Security in order to fund the UBI.
No.
To make it deficit neutral, which was part of his original package of ideas.
Right.
We're gonna cut the social safety net and replace it with a UBI.
But we all are on the same page on that, so we don't have to keep debating that. But the issue is whether or not he's able to evolve. If people push him on this and bring this up during podcast interviews and in other kinds of interviews and conversations, and he doesn't move, then criticize him away. But if you look around in the field of other people running against him, I'm interested to see what Maya Wiley has up her sleeve, what's coming down the pike from her. But generally speaking, the question is, he's not competing alone in a field. He's competing.
It's a big field.
And I'd rather have someone who is open to the kinds of progressive ideas that the country and, yes, New York City need than someone who's going to be a status quo politician. And so we'll see what happens with Andrew Yang. He's been really open and available to progressive media in a way that other people haven't done. Like, these kinds of things I don't think are worth writing off. I think we have to continue to have him on and push him on stuff, because as we saw in our episode of the podcast, you push him on stuff and he was like, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, actually, yeah, like I need to revise my perspective about capitalism. Like, he had a real time moment on our show. So
my core point is, Andrew Yang, you're Mr. Too Damn UBI, but you cannot do a UBI as mayor of New York. What's more in your wheelhouse is, say, the ending the NYPD vice squad, decriminalization of drugs, decriminalization of sex work, and shutting down Rikers. What is your position going to be on these issues? And I just get the feeling that he's going to be a little in over his head about that. And he's running in the place where, again, all the freaking media lives. So they're going to pay an inordinate amount of attention to his campaign and give him an inordinate amount of criticism. And But my final point on that is it is an interesting race. It's a big field right now. A lot of left-wing people came out the gate to support Scott Stringer. I know Julia Salazar endorsed him back in December. Carlos Menchaca, who's a very interesting guy, is a city council member. He's running as well. I would like to cover this race further with you, Brie, and I would love to have these candidates on our show to hash it out.
Yeah, I would as well.
So I'm not gonna. So I'm not going to endorse.
No one's talking about endorsement.
I'm
allowed to say
just
a positive thing about
know.
Andrew Yang without it being an endorsement.
Just letting the chat know. I think we could ask. Some tougher questions than New York One might ask.
Yeah, I think that's right. But I'm not gonna credit an unknown who has never been under any scrutiny just because they're unknown. When at very least so far, Andrew Yang has made himself available in a way that is pretty unique. And in a week when, because of Force the Vote, a number of people who were in open negotiations, open to coming on our show, have decided to decline. I just want to say that. I'm not going to name their names because I'm still hopeful that they'll reconsider their position. But I do place a lot of value in the integrity of people who are not so scared to defend what they think and feel in the world, that they're unwilling to submit to a good faith round of questioning from people who share their ultimate long-term values.
Well, Andrew Yang, the non-candidate, came on. Do you think Andrew Yang, the candidate?
Yeah, he'll come back. Andrew Yang will 100% come back.
Let's have him back on. Let's ask him tough questions. Let's have him on with Scott Stringer. Let's have him on with Carlos Menchaca. Let's have him on with these other New York mayoral candidates. A lot of good candidates in that race, and let's see where they really stand. That sounded very serious. That sounded like very fucking 60 minutes right now.
We don't have to keep going on very much longer. We've already been going on 1:21 minutes. Sorry.
I'm in the zone, so you have me for as long as you want, Bree.
Okay, I just
I showed you the shirt. I don't have any other props.
Somebody asked you where you got that shirt. They wanted to know earlier up.
Got it from someone that I met on the campaign trail from Australia.
No, the shirt you're wearing.
I got it from a store that sells shirts.
Somebody said we need to go back to good vibes, and I agree.
Andrew Yang was a good vibe. I don't know. I just feel good thinking about him. Nice guy. Nice mom. Nice chap.
No, Bill de Blasio. Here's what I like about Bill de Blasio. Remember all those stories about how Bill de Blasio didn't want to be at work before 11 a.m.?
I don't remember that, but now
that
it makes me like him more.
Thank you. That's some relatable-ish right there. Okay, so that's one. Okay, he's got this weirdly tall, he's weirdly tall in a way that I find to be endearing. The way that anybody who's outside of the norm, there's a realm of tallness, which is obviously a social benefit. But then you get into this place where it's kind of freak show territory. And so my heart goes out.
He's at the limit there. He's 6'5".
Yeah, 6'4" is the cutoff.
6'4" is the cutoff? Okay, I believe he's 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4" is
he's pretty goddamn tall.
This is cute, but getting unwieldy.
That's tall for a tall king.
It's getting unproportionate. It's getting into weird territory. So that's it. So there's a part of me that's I feel like caring for you. Also, I'm not mad at the fact that he married a black lesbian. That's cool. I'm sorry. It is.
I met his son.
Oh yeah? How's that?
Very briefly for a hot second.
Where did you meet Dante?
At Yale.
Why were you at Yale? And why was
Felix and I went to Yale to receive an award for the best satirist of the year from the Humor Society. Got the rewards in the other room.
Shut up.
And we were hanging out afterwards, and I passed him in the dorm, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, that's Bill de Blasio's son." He said, "Hi to me." And to the best of my knowledge, He does not listen to Chapo Trap. Doesn't care. Doesn't know who I am. Doesn't give a shit about me. But he's probably a huge Come Town fan. That's my
He's
guess.
probably a huge what?
Come Town fan. That's my guess. That's my big guess.
I respect all of our fellow podcast hosts. I will say that after hearing all of the plaudits about Come Town, I really wanted to know and get into it. I am not a prude. I am a huge Chapo fan, but the gap between like Chapo and Come Town is not in the same territory.
Well, they're different shows.
Yeah, it is
they're
not
different programs.
But the liberal media treats it all like, oh, this dirtbag left. No. There is like no similarity there.
But the liberal media is made up of imbeciles.
Right. But like
babies and morons.
I'm down for a lot, but you know, my sensibilities were a little bit like not in line with that. Have I watched Married at First Sight? Of course. It is excellent. Virgil, you should watch it and we should talk about it.
I do not know what the hell that is.
Virgil, the premise of this show is that it's what it sounds like. Two people they meet each other at the podium, at the, what do you call it? The altar.
At the altar.
At the altar. And they get married.
Why?
For entertainment.
That's awful. That's a horrible decision. That's terrible.
They're matched by a team of psychologists who are experts.
No, awful. This is cruel. This is
amazing.
Cruel thing to do to someone.
And they go on a honeymoon. They're together for 6 months or something. And at the end, they decide whether they're going to stay together or get divorced.
That's awful. That's terrible. That's one of the most depressing things I've ever heard in my life, Bree.
It's good vibes. It's so good.
Oh my God. That's abusive. Even if everyone's consenting to the matter, it's still abusive in my mind. All
right. Well, we should watch it before you judge it. Damn.
Okay. Well, I don't watch it. I'm just the idea of it. Like, would you do that?
Maybe in 5 or 6 more years, I might feel so.
All right. Yeah. In 5 or 6 more years, I'm gonna have to set this up. Yeah.
You're gonna have to what?
I'm gonna have to set this up. I want to go back to some of the questions that I saw. One was, has Giannis Varoufakis ever been on Bad Faith? No, he hasn't been, but we're gonna get him on. He's great. He's a delight.
I've been wanting to have him on since forever, and I know that he's a big Star Trek fan, and I know we've gotten feedback that I have to stop talking about Star Trek. But
no, you don't. No, you don't have to stop talking about Star Trek. Not at all. Also, you're reading the feedback. Error number 1 right there. No, you talk to Giannis Varoufakis about Star Trek. He's great. Well, the thing is, I'd have him on for hours because he can talk about a shitload of stuff. Tell us about the Lebanese debt crisis. You can tell us about the freaking Brexit, about the EU. You can tell us about the.
Yeah, we can do that too. Okay. Yeah, but then we'll do a little Star Trek.
We'll do all of the above. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's also part of a new organization with new international organization with Jeremy Corbyn. Called.
Yeah, we're working on him too.
Can't remember the name of that one organization. It's late, but that's a thing that's happening. He's also part of the DM25, which Slavoj Žižek, a veteran of Bad Faith, is also a supporter of. He's very involved with support for Julian Assange.
Oh, we should talk about this. Did you see that Tucker Carlson on his show tonight was advocating for Trump to pardon Julian Assange?
I saw it, yeah. I mean, I don't watch the show, but I saw people say that.
So this isn't like good vibes necessarily, but some of you might remember
Tucker fucking Carlson. Yeah.
A couple of nights ago, Jimmy Dore went on Tucker Carlson to advocate for Trump to pardon Julian Assange. We all know that Donald Trump watches Fox News pretty much exclusively. And a lot of leftists who have never advocated for Julian Assange, who have not been willing to throw their hat in that ring, were very, very quick to criticize Jimmy Dore for using that platform to make that pitch, despite the fact that Bernie Sanders and a lot of other figures on the left, Katie Halper, Nomiki Konst, have all gone on, Glenn Greenwald have all gone on Fox to make leftist pitches in the past to an audience which is half of America. Now, a night or two later, here's Tucker Carlson completely out of his own volition, making the pitch directly to Trump to pardon Julian Assange, something that should be considered to be a kind of leftist, no-brainer, litmus test kind of issue. And one might draw the conclusion that the advocacy of Jimmy Dore and folks who have been willing to make that kind of pitch really made a difference. And we'll see ultimately whether or not it will result in this particular journalist getting pardoned.
Right, just because Donald Trump is an imbecile who watches television all the time.
Correct.
It's not a bad argument.
If Trump is an imbecile, what does it make us for being so stupid as not to use that to our advantage by making a direct pitch to him on his favorite television network?
I agree with you. Tucker Carlson is a fraud and a shithead. But
of course,
he does have a direct line to the president of the United States, as does Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, as does all kinds of random weird shit. And this is exactly something that Trump could do on his way out if he were sufficiently convinced that it would trigger the libs to pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. I'm not holding my breath on it. I don't know. We're all, this is all fundamentally about what's going on in the decaying brain of an evil man. I'm more concerned that when Biden comes into office, that he won't do that either, and that his Justice Department will continue to prosecute Julian Assange and continue to push for the keep him in prison, in jail, as they try to extradite him from the United Kingdom. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. When we spoke with, names are really not great right now, but the former head of the NLG, who was very involved with the Julian Assange case, who said to us, well, the hope is, we have a slim hope that Trump is going to pardon Assange, but we also have hope that when the new Justice Department comes in, they're just going to drop the prosecution.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what actually needs to happen is Joe Biden to pardon Assange and pardon Edward Snowden, make Edward Snowden a free man who can come back to the United States of America and not have to live in Russia, which, I've never been there. But it probably sucks.
We should go when all this is over.
I don't want to go.
That'll really make everybody love us.
No,
I feel like I should say why everyone's still here. I know it's getting late, but please, if you can help us by subscribing. We have been a little inconsistent about letting you know in advance when the live streams are, but if you subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications, you can be sure to be alerted whenever we do one of these impromptu sessions so you don't miss out. I will say that we tend to not want to leave these impromptu live streams up. I'm seeing my makeup is wearing a little thin. Virgil has thoughts and feelings about sometimes how he presents. And so we like to take these things down. So you want to catch them in real time. And to do that, please, please, please click the bell. You also help us grow our subscriber base, which we're just getting into YouTube and starting now. Virgil really wants to win one of those YouTube plaques.
We're trying to get 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers. You get a plaque. We just want the damn plaque, frankly. I do have a question for the chat.
A question for the chat?
Yeah, I do a question for the chat. How do you feel about Jenga?
About what? Sorry, you're like.
How do you feel about Jenga?
You're asking me.
I'm just waiting. No, I'm asking the chat, so I'm just waiting for the responses to come in. I know there's a latency. Okay, seeing a lot of positive messages there about Jenga. All right, very good. So my idea is, it's an idea that I'm working on for a bit now, and it's kind of something I've been tinkering with outside of my podcast obligations. It's the idea of a Jenga a live stream of playing the game Jenga, where the stream would operate 24/7. But the game would not be played 24/7. You would just have a stream watching the pieces, watching the tower 24/7. But once, twice a week, people would come and they would play the game. They would remove pieces from the tower. They would, they would do all the fundamentals of the game. And I could do this as a side project, but I wanted to do this under the Bad Faith banner because I wanted to involve Bree. Because it would be okay. It would be I don't know what you're showing me right now. You're showing me the fancy Jenga. That's sold out, Bree. It would be
I got this for my family for Christmas.
It would be a visual metaphor for the conversation that we're having, and that as the tension in the game builds, which it does, as the moves become more difficult, the conversation would get more difficult. And I would play it in person with people here, and we're going to get COVID tested and all of that. Briahna would have an avatar. She would have an individual who does everything she says. She would have someone who touches the pieces and reports back to her about, which ones are solid and which ones are, seem like a good candidate. This individual would exercise the moves that Briahna directs. Kind of like, do you remember Bob Eisenstein's character in Arrested Development? Kind of like that. When he was in prison, he had the guy with the camera. Kind of like that, a little bit like that. But with not just visual and audio, but with touch. This is the concept that I'm focused on right now. And I'm curious if the audience would appreciate something like this.
Well, weigh in, folks. Don't forget to take your vitamin D. It helps COVID symptoms.
Yeah, I stopped taking vitamins. They're all bullshit. I stopped taking them. Are there should we do it on Twitch? Is that a better deal? I don't know. I mean, I feel like you do a stream on YouTube, do a stream on Twitch. I feel like we're splitting our audience,
My friend, I want to always yes and you. So I will do this. I have some skepticism about its ability to translate, but I will try this with you.
I think it will be the next genius concept. I really do. Having given it a lot of thought, Briahna.
All right, let's try it.
I just wonder if we should do it on Twitch.
We need to figure Twitch out, because obviously we can't let Hassan just run rampant over there without any competition whatsoever.
Well, I mean, is it you're the one running the YouTube Legend.
This is so easy. Katie taught me how to do it.
Do people tip us on this?
I think they could if I let them.
Are there do you buy bits and you tip with bits and all that kind of crap like on Twitch?
I think that they could. I haven't opened that Pandora's box yet.
I feel like we should do it on Twitch just because this is a more gaming centric thing, but we should continue to do the regular live streams on YouTube. I think that's the play there.
As a older millennial, I do like YouTube. My brother just texted me. He's watching. He says, I'll build you a stream setup. You can dual stream on both services. So apparently we can do that.
That's interesting, but we'd only be paying attention to the Twitch stream.
I don't know, man.
We want to grow the YouTube. We want to grow the YouTube stream. We want to grow the YouTube channel, but we also want to be on Twitch.
YouTube feels like if YouTube feels like the credentialist, mainstream. All you can say, we're doing well on YouTube. It's accessible, and then Twitch feels like there's a lot of power and it's coming up, but there's less broad validation for doing well on Twitch. So those are the kind of trade-offs. I think it is useful and good to have both.
I think we do very well on Twitch with the tower.
People want us to play games, and all I want them to know is how good I am at Type Racer.
At Type Racer.
You know about Type Racer?
Is that a game that teaches you how to type?
100%.
It literally is that. No, that was correct.
100%. How fast do you think I can type?
I mean, as an adult who's been on the internet her entire life, I would guess 100 words a minute. You're rocking them. You're crushing them, 330, 135 words a minute. You kidding? Are you playing against people learning English?
It's not a relative. I did 130 words a minute. I'm good at typing. People need to know this. That's how I managed to launch all these Twitter bombs all the time real fast.
Okay, now wait, can you play against people on it?
Yeah, you can log into Type Racer, but there's no guarantee it's gonna like match us against each other.
Oh, it's just random matching. You can't like match a friend.
You can keep like reloading until we get in the same game. You can like try to time it. At this hour, there's probably not that many people on here anyway.
You want me to do it?
It wants me to it doesn't believe that I'm a real person, so it wants me to take a
Oh, because you were so fast. Oh my god, Brie. You were so fast that it doesn't believe you're a real person. You must be a robot typing that fast. Okay, well now I gotta find this. Okay, now I gotta find the Type Racer.
I made a bunch of typos.
All right. Race your friend. No, it says you can invite people to a private race.
Okay,
yeah.
where?
I'm DMing it to you.
I have an account, but I'm not logged in. I'm like Stinky Cheese Girl or something, but I can never remember my password.
No, check your DMs. I just DM'd it to you.
What DMs?
Your Twitter DMs.
Oh, okay.
The hell is instant? Oh, instant. Oh my god, there's modes too. Holy shit. This is dark.
I feel like I've read all these novels that I haven't read because I've done so much Type Racer, and like they give you hunks of novels and songs and stuff.
Okay, well, did you get the link?
Yeah, I'm clicking it now. But I gotta switch over. I gotta make sure. I gotta make this the
All right, it says guest join.
Wait a minute. I gotta make this the new private window.
Oh wait, well you're the one broadcasting it. I'm not broadcasting it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, it says you joined the race. It says someone joined the race. I don't know.
Is this the one? Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm the only one in here.
All right. You ready? No. Yeah. I mean, I'm there too. I see you. I don't see you. Oh yeah, but I see you.
It says waiting for competitors.
I see you in it.
Okay, but as you can see, it says waiting for competitors.
I don't know. Oh wait, no, click. All right, you're right. Yeah. Oh, it's starting. Okay. All right. Well, all right. We gotta type this. God damn it. God, fuck.
Are you done
okay,
yet?
All right. I want to do another one. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I misclicked. This is bullshit. I mistyped the thing. This is rigged. This is a rigged fucking game. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like what's happening here. Do I have to make an account on it? All right, hang on. Let me make an account.
Yeah, I have an account. I just have to remember my number. I don't want to do this publicly. Wait a minute.
Yeah, don't give out your Type Racer number.
Wait a minute. I have an account. I just have to remember my
Or else the hoi polloi will join. Well, I guess we can. I guess we could invite people to come. Why does it need my birthday? What the fuck? Why does it need this information?
I can't remember my password. I was definitely Stinky Cheese Girl because Brie. But I can't. I forgot. This is too much work. We can't just play like anonymously again.
Hang on. Well, I'm signing up for an account right now. I'm successfully signing up for an account. Now I got an account. Okay. I mean, I could send the link to people. Make it.
Okay, I'll start a new one. Are we like completely boring people to tears?
Well, I mean, people are waiting to watch me destroy you in tie breaks.
It's not gonna happen, Virgil.
Is it up? Well, is it up? I mean, I see a guest there. So is that you?
Not that I know of. I'm in a thing by myself. Also, I don't know if you know this, Virgil, but I loved Mavis Beacon because Mavis Beacon was black.
Okay, wait. It's on. It's on. It's on. Wait, look at it. Look at the thing. It's on.
Oh, wait. Okay, this. Oh, it started?
God damn
Stop this! What is that? Oh my god. Okay. This is like my thing is not even working. What is happening right now?
No, my controller isn't working. Oh, that must be why I'm losing. Interesting.
Everyone can see it. This is stupid. I'm not doing this. Are we even in the same game, Virgil?
No, we're not. No, but I crushed the game that I was just in. I just absolutely demolished it. I just destroyed it. Destroyed it.
Okay, how do you invite me to a game again?
Okay, all right. Let me see here. There was a thing that lets you invite. Hang on. All right, raise your friends. All right. I'm DMing you another link.
Okay.
All right. Should we invite people from the chat?
I mean, can you?
Well, if we send them the link, yeah.
I mean,
sure. After you join, when you invite someone.
Wait, let me remove this one. Let me add. Oh no, let me remove this one. So let me stop screen. Let me share screen. Share screen. Application window. This one. Share.
Instant death mode sounds interesting.
Okay, this is us, right?
Wait, hang on.
Waiting for competitors.
Well, I'm waiting to join because I don't want it to start yet. But I think so. Yeah, you joined my race, right? Would you want to send a link to the people? If
sure.
like two other people want to join and like
I'm going to send the same link you just sent me to the chat.
Yeah. How do you send in the chat? Because I don't see a thing to send in the chat. You can just yeah.
So the reality is, I'm of the generation where we took computer class and we spent hours typing, and most kids like screwed around and didn't care. But I always loved it and took it very seriously.
All right. We're about to start right now. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. A respectable 102 words a minute.
What is with this CAPTCHA? It's like a million fucking sentences.
Which one were you, Virgil?
I'm Virgil.
Oh, there you are. Oh, you came close.
Am I teaching robots something? Is this something we should not be doing?
I'm in too deep. I do this all the time. I procrastinate doing this.
Wait, who won?
Me.
Okay, well, wait. You were 102 words per minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 101 words per minute.
Yeah, I said you're close.
You barely beat me.
Yeah, but I was also
barely.
I was barely trying.
Let's do another one.
Okay.
Let's do another one. Okay, well, a bunch of people just joined this one.
Are you in this one?
Well, a bunch of people just joined it. Yeah, I guess.
Are you in this though? Jay made up.
Yeah, I'm in it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Wait, this is full now. Fuck. All right, it's just you. Fuck, that fourth car is fucking crushing you, Bree.
It did shitty. Oh,
who's
I won.
car number 4?
Oh,
You gotta say who's car number 4? Who is that mysterious? Who is that mysterious champion?
Who is that? That's amazing.
Who is that speed racer?
Who is that? Come on, show yourself. That's respectable. I don't want to get beat by Virgil, but I accept being beat by 140.
Oh, I would beat you. I would have beaten you. I know the whole. I could have. I could have typed out that damn story.
That's really good. The portal.
I lost to you by 1 word per minute.
Because I messed literally up, like, royally. You saw that I can do 130 easy. So like 105 is me failing out. If that is really you, the portal, you are a king or a queen, a non-denominational royalty.
I'm not in this one.
Someone's still going. Don't shade the little purple car.
Yeah.
Cloudy skies now. I just have one of these Mac keyboards with food crusted all over it. A little bit of wine.
How do I? How was it that I made the racetrack, but I wasn't allowed to join it?
I have no idea how you managed to do that. I've never used this feature before. Also, they just updated the interface. This looks a lot newer and cooler than it used to look.
So this was the kind of gaming we could be doing on Twitch, Bree, you realize?
We could make this, like, we could put type racing on the map. Like, I have been training for this.
It's already on my.
I've been training for type racer since, like, Mr. Kozworski's computer class in 1996.
Mr. Kaczynski's manifest.
Mr. Kozworski. In 1996, I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, after 1996, he wanted to be called Mr. K. We could do this on Twitch. You know, we could also do the Google Maps game.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, it's great. I used to play with my friends all the time. You know how Google Maps has the street mode, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in the game, there's variations on the game, but one that I'm most familiar with, you get dropped in a random place, yeah, and you're just like, all you can see is the Google Street Maps, and you can move through the Google Street Maps, and your object is to pinpoint on a map where you are. It's very hard.
So I'm dropped somewhere and I have to tell you where I am?
Yes.
Based on like Street View or?
Yes, based on Street View. You just have the Street View.
But in a city that I know, apparently?
In anywhere in the world.
Oh.
Anywhere in the world.
Huh.
You want to play it right now?
I mean, I can try.
We can try it. Yeah.
This isn't a metal straw, it's a glass straw. And it's, you know all the discourse around straws, but it's reusable. So I find that I can consume more water a day if I drink it through a straw. You drink faster and more. So the goal is to go through 2 of these a day. And it's really easy if you use a straw.
I also have a glass straw, but it would violate the terms of services to show it on camera. What is that that you just showed us? That foreign fruit?
It's my overpriced water bottle that I love. It's glass, so there's no like contaminants and stuff. No BPA or whatever. And it has this fun grip on it, which makes it easy to hold even though it's big and kind of heavy. And what?
Go to GeoGuessr. Just search for GeoGuessr. Okay. And I don't know, create an account and then you set an account. I'll make an account.
Okay.
You see that Geo, it's Guesser is spelled in that cutesy kind of way that apps are spelled. And you see it.
I gotta sign up actually? Can I just play?
Well, I'm gonna sign up.
Oh, this wants me to pay money.
So that we can play against each other.
I don't want to pay money. I don't want to pay money.
Well, I'm really, honestly, I'm really bad at the game. We could. Just
I don't want to pay money.
We could just bet a small amount on it. You know,
I don't want to pay. I don't like
first
betting.
time, that's fine.
I don't like gambling, not because I have anything against gambling, because when I go to gamble, first I had $20 and then I gambled and then I have $0. And I don't like that feeling.
Okay, well, I tell you what, just play. It occurs to me that this is a single player game, essentially. So just play a game.
Have you guys subscribed to this channel yet? Has everyone who's in here right now subscribed?
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Okay, don't antagonize
All
the
right, all right.
subscribers.
Yeah, friends.
This is a good vibes stream, okay? This is happy time stream. If that makes you feel more comfortable than me saying good vibes, Virgil. This is happy joy stream. Do you want me to change the title to that?
No, you don't have to change the title. That's fine. We've already violated all kinds of copyright laws. Bree, you should start a game of GeoGuessr.
Well, it wants me to pay money. I just can't play without.
Well, don't do the battle royale crap. Go back.
No, it forces me no matter what to pay money. Here.
Well, scroll down. Keep scrolling down. I don't know. This got more complicated. This used to be a simple browser-based game. Jesus Christ. Hang on. Maybe hang on. Let me take a look at it. Maybe make an account.
I'm getting kind of hungry. I don't want to make an account.
It was easy. I just did it really quick.
I want something savory, but I don't really have anything savory. Virgil, I'm gonna have to go to sleep, or I'm gonna have to eat and undo all of my good jump roping exercise today.
Well, you're gonna do it on the camera?
No, I think. Am I gonna go to sleep on the camera? No, because it's 1:30 in the morning. I think that we should probably retire while the getting is good. Okay.
All right. That's fair. But with the provision that in the future you can play the GeoGuessr game.
I really, really enjoyed this, Virgil. I had a really good time hanging out tonight.
I did too. This was a good time. It's a good vibe. This was good vibes.
Do you feel good enough about these vibes for me to make this episode available to people, or do you want me to take it down immediately? We could leave it up for the night and take it down tomorrow sometime if that's a halfway.
No. I honestly kind of my view on streams is generally that they are things that must be experienced when they're performed. Kind of like a play.
Okay, Virgil,
it's like putting up like if we put on a play.
There are a lot of people who can't afford, who have to wake up early and can't start and watch streams late. And I think that we should also consider the accessibility issues of folks who would love to participate in something like this. But who just can't.
Do streams. Well, the response to that is we can do streams at different times. We can not just do evening streams. We can do afternoon streams, early afternoon streams. Those are all the times that exist.
What if we leave it up until I wake up tomorrow, which is probably going to be around 1 o'clock, and that gives people.
You want to leave it up? I mean, are people gonna watch this and like people are gonna clip me and be like, "Oh, you should talk to Andrew Yang."
No, you didn't, though. I don't think you did. If you,
well, you know how the mainstream media is.
Virgil,
I don't want to wake up and on Morning Joe, this is what they're talking about. Virgil, Texas, just shitting on Andrew Yang. Ooh, the Texas Yang beef heats up. I don't, you know how the media is.
By the way, when I went on Andrew Yang's podcast, we had a lot of, simpatico. We had a lot of like good rapport and chemistry. And he invited me to be his new podcast host if you ever decided to forsake me. And I told him that at that point it would get weird because he would be my third Asian American podcast host in a row. And that's something that I would have to go to my therapist and talk about, because at that point it becomes a weird kind of a pattern.
Why do you tell me these things? Just to humiliate me publicly. No, I got it.
I'm just saying,
Virgil. Go where your heart is. Andrew Yang, clearly that's a rising star right there. Why would you want to, hang out in the dumps here? The door is right there.
On our last stream, I agreed with you that we should take it down. I sent this to my old podcast host because I was amused by it.
Well, if
Did you hear that? I would like to urge
I heard that. Well, if Andrew would want you to keep it up, then yeah, let's keep it up. Just keep it up. Keep the stream up. That's what Andrew would want you to do.
Virgil, the last stream, I agree with you. We should take it down. There were some toilet noises. There was some stuff. I agree with you, but I wouldn't lead you astray. This one, I think you come off as charming and intelligent and the delightful man about town, a modern flaneur, you know.
A modern flaneur who sits in his apartment all day, every day, because he can't go anywhere else. The literal opposite of a flaneur.
The contemporary COVID flaneur just does laps around her studio apartment. That's where we are right now.
I'm a digital flaneur going around observing various people on the internet. I love observing people.
Someone says we should watch it first before we put it up. So I'm down with that. I can not put it up right now.
Just put it up. Just put it up.
Okay. All right. You can always take it down. Or
we do have a bad faith Twitch account, which I feel like we have so many asks for people. One, subscribe to the show, which hey, the show's great. Show's really good.
The show's really good. I'm really proud of it.
I'm really proud of it. The fucking paywall episodes that we have are exceptional, and I want everyone to be able to hear them. But we got to paywall something, or else someone's gonna freaking pay for the show. Subscribe to the YouTube because we want the damn plaque, and for other reasons, but primarily because we want the damn plaque.
Watch our Julian Assange episode because it's relevant and good. It's the full interview with Ben Cohen and Marjorie Cohn.
Marjorie Cohn, yeah.
Cohen is up. It's up, so you should watch that. Also,
she rocks.
She was really, really good. I love.
Awesome.
You know why
she's really good? Because she's freaking communist. That's why she's good.
She's what?
Because she's freaking communist. Yeah, that's why she's good.
Because she's
There's a communist lawyer who is the head of the National Lawyers Guild, the left wing, response to whatever the main legal organization is, and she went to Cuba, she went to North Korea, and all this shit, and she's like, yeah, fuck capitalism, and like to fucking still kicking it and giving awesome analysis and saying fuck you to capitalism. She rocks.
Virgil, want to answer these questions since these are your people?
Bree, who did the lock-ass, well, it says Bree, who did the lock-ass graphics and music clip? It's fantastic. I don't know what that's referring to.
Who did our theme music and who did our
amazing... Oh, I thought it was specifically, well, it's in the description of all the episodes. Paul Glover did the graphics and Nick Diamond did the music. It's in the description of all the damn episodes.
Yeah, the same guy who did the serial music. Like Virgil was right to go big in the beginning and really invest in those pieces. And I love our theme song. I really do. I end up humming it the whole night after every time I have to listen to an edit.
It's a sick song. He's actually not in the description of the episodes, but Paul Glover did the graphic design for the show. He's a good friend of mine. He's a brilliant designer.
Yeah, he's great. And of course, Ben Dalton does all of our editing and producing. And so somebody was like, you should edit this before you put it up. We cannot put it up, but that just means we have another item on Ben Dalton's plate to edit tomorrow.
I don't want to give him more work. You know what I mean?
If you guys subscribe more, we can pay Ben more, and then we don't have to feel bad about asking him to do things like this. Also, we can just hire multiple people to handle these kinds of things. So
we would like people to subscribe to the show, but honestly, Bree, I think going forward, the YouTube live streams are great. And everyone who's complaining like, oh, you don't give us enough advance notice. Well, it's because we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know when the views will strike our hearts.
Well,
and suggest that we should stream together and speak to an audience in real time. So that's just a special thing. But I will say that on Twitch, there's a lot of stuff we can do.
Screw this person, right? It
is really good music. I mean, I'll charitably read that as just craze for Nick. What I'm kind of pissed off about is I can't find a GeoGuessr game. That it's now like this big complex fucking premium subscribers only fucking app. You used to you'd be able to play this game where you just like type in a URL and like immediately start playing the games. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what it is you're referring to. The guessing geo game. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know about that. I will say though that for people who want us to be more predictable with our live streams, I'm not going to say who the guest is yet because it's possible that we might have to reschedule, but we currently have a plan to have a big guest who people have been really wanting us to talk to on Friday evening. Somebody who's been pivotal to the whole force the vote discussion, someone who's on the other side of it, who has been very generous and gracious and willing to come on and try to put to bed some of the friction that's existed on the left. So as soon as we really nail down that time, we will be letting you know about that. And hopefully you will be very excited and pleased about that live stream.
Wait, what are we doing? Oh, Friday. Oh, yeah. Yes, we are doing that Friday. Yes. Yeah, we are doing it.
All right, cats and kittens. Shall we wrap, Virgil?
Let's wrap. I mean, I want to play the GeoGuessr game, but we can do that on Twitch.
We can come back. We can be back.
We will come back. We will find us on Twitch. You know how to do all the damn YouTube crap. Thanks for joining us on this fun adventure.
That's right. And as always,
keep the faith.
That's right. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.